And here we go, Detroit fight fans. The following contest is your co-main event of the evening, scheduled for 10 rounds in the middleweight division. This matchup is being brought to you by Salida Promotions, 313 Presents, SMT Financial, and Clear Fruit, fruit flavor with a punch.
Tony.
The three judges scoring this matchup are Rose Gross, Vincent Santino, and Gerard White. And the third man in the ring, your referee, Ben Rodriguez. Now introducing the fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks trimmed in pink and blue. Standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, he weighed in at 159.4 pounds. He comes to the ring with a record of 15 wins, 6 losses, and no draws, with 12 of those big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing El Congo, Dominican Republic, ladies and gentlemen, here is Edward El Ciclón Diaz. His opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed in Honolulu blue. Standing 6 feet 1 inch tall, he weighed in at 159.2 pounds. He brings with him to the ring a record of 29 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw, with 21 of those big victories coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, here is former WBC Super Welterweight Champion of the World, Tony Superbad Harrison. Referee Ben Rodriguez with final fight instruction.
Ok, ya recibiste mis instrucciones en el camerino, ya sabes lo que espero. Obedece mis instrucciones, protege en todo tiempo. Aquí de arriba está bien, ok? I give you instructions in the dressing room so you know what I expect. Obey my commands, protect yourselves at all times. In the middle of the letters up is good, okay? Touch gloves, toca guantes, God bless you both.
Harrison told us, I feel invincible when I fight in Detroit. I've never lost in this city. In fact, no one's ever even gone the distance with me here. It's like putting a battery in my back. As for El Ciclón, Edward Diaz, he says, look, I know I was brought here to not only lose, but to get knocked out, but I've got a big surprise for Tony Harrison tonight. And if he's going to be able to pull off the upset, Sergio, he's going to have to get around that 8.5-inch reach advantage that Harrison has.
The reach, the height, the experience, the power, everything is on the side of Tony Harris.
Ready?
Diaz is going to have a tall mountain to climb, and I want to see how he's going to take that right hand as well. Punch resistance is going to be the main thing here.
Harrison in the Detroit Lions gear. Edward Diaz in the white.
Would ring rust be a factor tonight?
With Harrison, I don't think it will. I think once he starts popping that jab and lands his first right hand, I think he's going to be all right. You know, if he was dealing with a fighter that had faster feet and faster twitch muscle and upper body movement and speed, then he would be he would have to like be worried a little bit. But I think Diaz is going to be just fine.
Go. Hands free, guys.
Diaz did say that he wanted to make sure that he was punching.
Out, guys.
The output was there, so we'll see if he can actually pull that
back.
off.
Guys, stop holding, both of you. Let's go box.
Harrison said that he and Claressa Shields are like Kobe and Shaq, MJ and Pippen. He said, we are the same type of fighter, and it's a great moment to be on the same card here in the Motor City.
Harrison with a white stance, wide shoulders, pops that jab, and moving up to 160 now. So you know, making that weight, making 154, saving that 6 pounds, going to actually add to the power. I want to see how he takes a punch, though, Harrison. After the long layoff, if he gets hit with something solid coming off a knockout, I want to see how he's going to react.
Right, of 15 wins, 12 have come by way of knockout for Diaz.
Because Harrison's losses, they've all been pretty much high-level championship losses. And in fights that he's winning, you know, so it's focus, lack of focus, that actually catches up to a fighter like Tony Harrison. Good body shot there.
And out of his 4 losses, 3 of them have come by way of knockout in the latter rounds.
Yeah, see, popping that jab, that's how you're going to soften up Diaz. Upstairs, downstairs. You don't want to exchange with a shorter fighter right now early in the fight. You just want to piece him up with that jab. Set up that big right hand. That's how you shake off the cobwebs after two plus years out of the ring.
Yeah, if you're Edward Diaz, you're going to want to go after Harrison early before he gets that feel back for the ring.
Before he gets his timing.
Ooh, good shot there by Diaz. See, that's what I want to see. How is Harrison going to react? And that was a good shot that he took right there, but I don't like that he took it so cleanly, though, this early.
Cuidado con la nuca. Con la nuca.
Good body shot by Harrison.
Harrison, of course, won his super welterweight title by beating Jermell Charlo, and then ended up losing it right away back to the same man. Somewhat similar situation to what happened with you, Sergio.
Yeah, you know, we won the title, we lost the title. It's the same fighter.
It's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all, right?
Oh, okay.
Time. Seconds out. Round 2, guys. Back.
So after a 28-month absence from the ring, Tony Harrison has a round under his belt. Let's see if he picks up the pace here in the second. Didn't look all that comfortable in the first round.
No, he didn't. And he got hit a little bit too cleanly in that first shot. So, you know, I think he should just pop that jab. He shoulder rolls really nicely. He catches and counters with those big shoulders. Once he starts getting comfortable in there and rolling those shoulders and coming back with right hands, that's when I know that he's actually comfortable in there. But for right now, that first round is a little shaky. Oof, both of them just missed with big right hands right now. See, this early right now, you don't want to give the shorter fighter. And a fighter with pop. I mean, Diaz has, you know, he has a big right hand. 12 knockouts in 15 fights, you know, there's nothing to play with. So you gotta be a little bit careful if you're Harrison right now.
And you did mention his losing streak, and we talked about it. And he said, hey, I'm not going to take any excuses. I'm not going to give any excuses. But those fights were all last-minute calls, 2 and 3 days. So it goes to show the guy's committed to the sport. He's willing to take a chance, like this one fight. Also a last-minute call.
Well, Harrison did tell us, look, I'm not going to come out guns blazing. And he certainly hasn't done that. But said that his newly found patience will actually lead to more knockouts because he'll pick his moments better and capitalize on the opportunities he gets.
And that's what you got to do as an older, more mature fighter. You know, you use your advantages. Use that height. Use that reach. Pop that jab. You know, you're a former champion. You're always going to be labeled a former champion. So you got to start fighting like an old bull against these younger fighters.
You can hear the screaming. That's by Franchon Cruz DeZern.
Yep, right behind us.
Fun fact, she had her pro debut against Claressa Shields in her pro debut. I have a feeling those two might cross paths again.
There you go. See, that's that jab. That's Tony Harrison's fight right there. to get out of these early rounds. You know, you soften him up with that jab, keep the fight in the middle of the ring. Little by little, gain your confidence back. Just missed a big right hand right now.
Yeah, it looks like you might be trying to lull Diaz to sleep a little bit and then catch him with that heavy shot.
Well, just wake him up, setting him up with that jab. You know, you just peck him. You know, you got that reach. It's bound to, that right hand is bound to land.
My concern is that the round might be just leaving his hands because he's just waiting too long.
Diaz is getting his shots in as well. He said he knows how to win, and I'm going to enjoy doing it. Well, Harrison took a couple of power punches.
Yeah, he's staying in the pocket. Diaz is landing some looping shots around the guard.
Closing out strong.
Already over there, you jab with the second. Don't even wait for it. Bah, bah. You gotta rip that second. You're already right there. You're already there. Jab, finish with your motherfucking second. Go downstairs. You ready to go? Bah, bah, bah. Get on and they fight.
Seconds out.
Is that your dad? In the corner?
Maybe your
My
uncle.
dad's dead.
What the?
That's the truth.
Could be your uncle.
You were never close to your father, just to soften that up a little bit, right? He wasn't in your life, so there you go. Now you got to say something to take the awkwardness off that, Sergio.
I started by saying it's his uncle, and you didn't listen.
I'm blaming my producer, John McCormick, who fed me that line. Thanks, John. Welcome back. And we're around 3 of 10. And again, you can hear Franchon Cruz deserve. Boy, she is Harrison's #1 fan.
Good check hook there by Harrison. See, whenever you're dealing with a fighter as inexperienced as Diaz, he's going to fall off balance once he misses a shot. So it'll serve Harrison right now that, you know, he's had a long layoff to get out of these early rounds by catching and shooting. He knows how to roll good with the punches right now. Everything behind the jab, catch and shoot, let Diaz fall off balance, and then you can counter. Instead of going for the knockout, going for the big shot.
Yeah, like he used to.
Diaz is trying to catch and counter your big right hand as well.
Big right hand there from Harrison. But boy, Diaz is coming right after him.
Yeah, he's not afraid to take any punches from Harrison.
Good shot there by Harrison.
Watch your heads, guys.
If Diaz is not careful, you know, dipping to the same side, he's going to get chopped down with that right hand, which is Harrison's best punch. You don't want to get hit by a big, tall, lanky puncher when he's punching down. So you better make sure that you start dipping on both sides. See, there's that right hand again by Harrison.
And you can see Diaz complaining about low blows, but then when you can see how high up he has the padding, Sergio. It's hard for the referee to make that judgment call.
Yeah, I'm glad the referee didn't say nothing either. See, now Harrison's flowing. You can see that he's popping that jab. He's landing that right hand nicely. And it's on the back foot, coming around the guard with a hook. See, this is Harrison fighting a little bit more comfortable now.
And Ulloa is still trying to close the gap and get into his pocket. And Harrison is really keeping him away. Nice straight jab. He's doing a great job. He's very disciplined behind that jab.
There we go. See that? Popping that one, coming around with that two. Keeping it nice and easy. Twos and fews with your Tony Harrison. No hooks yet. Everything behind the long jab. Nice body shot. He stayed down too. I like when tall fighters, you know, dip down and get a good body shot and stay down there. You know, normally tall fighters want to avoid body shots because they make themselves smaller. So when you stay down, you invest in the body and then you make yourself a smaller target. Just like that.
Diaz has to be careful about getting that chopping right hand on his temple. He leaves his head down when he misses the punch.
Time.
certainly changed. She went from glam to fight focus now, Claudia.
There she is. That's the undisputed heavyweight champ. And usually she has her blue braids, you know, always bringing awareness to water and Flint. Never forgets where she comes from. As relaxed as ever. So happy.
And there is her opponent, Lonnie Daniels, fighting out of New Zealand. She told Claressa Shields in a DM when Claressa said, "Sign for the fight. Are you scared to fight me?" Lonnie Daniels said, "I am scared, but I can still beat you, and I know how to do it."
Love that answer.
Yes.
Great honesty.
And we told her, you know, who says that?
And fear sometimes makes fighters better, sharper on their toes, and especially when they can admit it, as long as you don't let it overwhelm you. I actually love that quote by Daniels.
Very on point. And now it's Diaz going for the body on Harrison. That's what makes Diaz so dangerous. He has absolutely he has got nothing to lose. He's in here. Nobody really knows where he comes from, what he's done in his life, what type of career he has. So he can take any risk.
Well, again, Diaz started his career 12-0 with 10 knockouts, but since then, 3-6, and 5 of those 6 losses have come by way of knockout. So he is ripe for the picking if Harrison can catch him. But he is not fighting like someone that doesn't think they can win. Diaz is in every round.
Yeah, he's in the round, and I think Harrison's doing a good job keeping his punches short. You know, you don't want to keep your punches long whenever you have an opponent that's winging away like that. Just keep him short, nice and tight on the inside, and stay off the ropes, because this is only encouraging Diaz. Diaz doesn't like those body shots. I love it. I would love it for Harrison to just keep picking and poking downstairs to the body, catching everything to the body. You can see Diaz wincing anytime that Harrison goes down there.
I see him. He's a little soft.
Yeah.
On his sides.
Good right hand for Harrison.
And Diaz is looking for that big right uppercut. He's setting it up.
Yeah, see, Diaz is feeling those body shots now. You know, backing up now.
Oh, and that right snuck through for Harrison as well, who looks to be growing in confidence every round.
And look at that front leg, getting closer and closer to Diaz, just closing the gap. I think he's getting very comfortable in that fight in the short distance. Maybe not the place where you thought he would be comfortable.
Harrison said he never really officially considered retiring after 2 years on the couch, said it was just time to get back in there and do my thing, and says he wants to fight 5 times in the next year and a half. So he's in it for the long haul at 34 years of age.
Good body shot there by Harrison. See, those are the uppercuts, the tight punches by Harrison. Fans are loving it now. This is how you break off that ring rust.
Indeed.
Good body shot.
Right in it as well.
This is excellent inside fighting by Tony Harrison.
10 seconds. Yes, segundo.
Keeping the elbows in, punches tight, turning his waist, getting leverage.
Oh, beautiful uppercuts, sitting into them. That was gorgeous.
Well, rising heavyweight phenom Moses Itamwa takes on Dillian, the body snatcher White, in a career-defining clash as part of the Esports World Cup Fight Week. Itamwa, just 20 years of age, stepping up to face his toughest challenge yet.
Harrison touching him with that jab. See, that's that winging left hook that Diaz is trying to set him up with, but Harrison catching him with that nice short right hand. But it was the inside fighting in that last round that I like by Harrison.
Happily surprised with how comfortable he was right there in that very tight-knit fight, phone booth fight. And he was very, very relaxed.
Harrison seems to be chipping away at Diaz as we enter the 5th round here, scheduled for 10. Coming up next, the GWOAT returns. Claressa Shields in our main event, defending her undisputed heavyweight championship. Right now, we're witnessing the return of Tony Harrison.
I like that jab downstairs by Harrison. You know, start alternating that jab up and down. Even that right hand, start touching that body with that right hand. Right here, I like to see him catching and countering. Harrison catching those body shots coming up with uppercuts. He's been landing nice uppercuts on Diaz on the inside. Real good inside fighting by Harrison.
But this is where Diaz wants to fight. He's an 8.5-inch reach disadvantage. He's got to fight inside.
Yeah, no, and that's totally fine because Harrison's been adapting pretty well. I mean, on the outside, it's all him with his advantages, but on the inside, he's been doing really well as well.
Yeah, he looked really comfortable in the previous round, and I can see Diaz still staying at his range, but wanting to eat a couple of punches so he can close the distance and go for the body. But
beautiful
that
shot right
by
there.
Harrison also.
A picture-perfect 1-2 from Harrison, and now he's feeling it, jabbing upstairs into the body.
Yeah, and it all started once he started landing that jab to the body. You know, you alternate, you're taking up and down, then he set up that laser right hand, which is Harrison's best punch. Diaz took it well, but he can't keep taking those long right hands.
Hand three, don't pull his head down. Let him go, Tony.
Right. And at the age of 34, Sergio, it's not so much how good your offense is, it's your defense as well. You can't take the kind of punishment that you had when you were a younger fighter.
No, especially when all your losses are by knockout, you know. So 34 is usually not the end of a career, but whenever you're getting stopped like that, then you got to be careful.
Yeah, the last time we saw him 28 months ago in Australia against Tim Tszyu, when he was stopped by 9th round TKO.
Yeah, 3 of his 4 losses have been in the 9th round, so that 9th round.
And they're throwing it out. Diaz giving as good as he's getting, but Harrison just too slick.
Harrison did a good job staying down, dipping down to his left and staying down there because Diaz was looping over the shot, over the top.
And he's got Diaz measured. I love that half step he takes back just to stay out of range like he did right now.
Okay.
10 seconds.
I love the combinations Harrison threw, but he needs to mind his defense. He got caught with a check left hook by Diaz. So no matter how good Harrison is punching and doing all the combinations, he still needs to move his head down.
Go around it. 6. It's 106 or 107. Round 6 right now.
There's that right hand, and I keep saying that Diaz keeps dipping to that right side, that same side. Harrison's bound to chop down on a hard right hand. It's only a matter of time before Harrison lowers the boom with that right hand. He's landing cleanly, sharply with that left, that right, that uppercut, not letting Diaz get inside and smother his power.
Hold on, Tom. Hold on. Let's go, box.
Round 6 now scheduled for 10 here in the Motor City, the home of Tony Harrison. What a great place to make your return. This packed house, buzzing with energy. They're ready to explode if Harrison can connect the right shot. What shot's it going to be?
Has to be a right hand. But see, look, right here, I don't like this by Tony Harrison. Even though he's catching those shots, it's going to remind him of his
a clean left hook, and you can hear the crowd's reaction. They don't like what they're seeing either.
No matter how confident you are and how controlled you are, anytime you start getting hit by a puncher, because Diaz does have some power, it's going to remind you of your last fight, even if it was 2.5 years ago. You're still shell-shocked from that beating, from that knockout.
I just spoke to the corner, Milton Moore, for Edward Diaz, and he said, I asked him to put more pressure, and he did notice about dipping to the right side. But Diaz doesn't seem to react to that. He says, you know what, I don't care, that's my style, I'm sticking to that. But he needs to put more pressure in the following rounds.
So a bit of a wake-up call at the beginning of the 6th round here for Tony Harrison. You know, it was right when Diaz looked like he was starting to fade away.
Right. Step back. One punch. Step back.
He could really have used that confidence boost. And now Harrison trying to restore order, so to speak.
Yeah, he definitely, the coach doesn't want Diaz to be fighting on the outside. He wants to definitely maintain the fight very tight, very close.
Oh, big overhand right from Diaz.
Harrison landing good body shots, but he's not dipping back down. He punches and stays up, and that's the reason Diaz was able to loop a shot over the top. And the tall fighters need to be careful when they go down to the body. They got to stay down, punch and dip. Always expect something coming back when you're the taller fighter facing a much shorter fighter. See, that's the stick I want to see. Popping him with that jab, catching him at the end of that right hand.
Hands free, guys. Box out.
Mixing some body shots in between. That's how you control a tough guy. That's how you control a shorter puncher like Diaz. You dictate the pace. You keep the fight in the middle of the ring. Pop in that jab. See, this is Tony Harrison's fight right here. This is the old sign of the old champion.
Harrison, also a well-respected boxing trainer, asked him what he liked better, fighting or training, and he said, you know what, I just love to see it when one of my students gets what I'm teaching them. That look on their face, I think I like being a trainer a little bit better. Next Saturday, we will be in Chicago, Illinois, as Golden Boy presents Oscar Duarte and Kenneth Sims Jr., a true crossroads fight for both of those athletes. Who do you give the edge to there, Sergio?
Oh, man, honestly, I like Sims Jr. in this contest. It's going to be stylistically a difficult fight for him, but early in the fight, I like Sims. Late, I like Duarte, but it's going to be a hell of a clash of styles.
I do not want you on the road. Stay your ass on the road, bro. They make everything do it. Tight. I need to put my thumb.
Big crowd waiting for the main event, which is up next. And both Lonnie and Clarissa have some very entertaining walkouts planned for everyone here in attendance. I promise you that.
Back. Box.
For now, though, our co-main event rolls on. Middleweight division, 160 pounds. Tony Harrison returning from a 28-month layoff. Crowd reacting to that. Harrison obviously slipping.
Time.
The middle of the canvas is wet, I believe, and Tony Harrison slipped on it.
Referee going to do a cleanup job. Back at it we go here in the 7th round.
Back. Time in. Let's go. Box.
Well, you can see Harrison's shorts are soaked. That can't be sweat.
Well, it's the water they pour on them in the corner.
Yeah, he's dripping wet. He must have dumped a whole bottle on him.
Diaz is definitely following the instructions from his corner. And candidly, they told me, yeah, we're here to lose, but we're making a fight out of it.
Good shot. See, that's Harrison's MO. Whenever he starts landing and unleashing that right hand, it's only a matter of time. He does have pop behind that right hand. All he needs is confidence.
Crowd appreciative of the skills on display here from Harrison, the former champ.
See, there you go. I like that punch and dip by Harrison. You can see that he's cautious of what's coming back. He missed an uppercut, but he dipped right back. He's thinking defensively, and that's what he needs to do against a fighter like Diaz.
Well, Diaz does have pop. 12 knockouts in his 15 wins.
Yep, you got to punch and dip. You can't get lazy with fighters like this, and that's the thing about Tony Harrison. That's what's plagued his career. All of his fights have been late in the action. 9th round, championship rounds. He loses focus against champions.
And that's also a testament to how frail his chin is.
Well, I was going to say either he lacks punch resistance or he loses focus or a little bit of both.
I'd say it's a combination because he gets distracted, therefore his chin gets open, and then he gets caught.
But then again, you know, he's getting stopped by champions. You know, he's not getting stopped by up-and-comers. He's not getting stopped by guys like Diaz. You know, Jermell Charlo, Jared Hurd, Tim Tszyu. These are all world champions.
This is where Harrison needs to be careful along the ropes.
See right there.
See, Diaz is willing to just take a couple punches and get in there. Look at that, using that left uppercut.
Harrison actually stood up right there. Diaz could have taken advantage of it. He pivoted, but he left his chin in the air. This is the thing where we're just talking about. Harrison either loses focus,
as you were saying,
or gets lazy, because right now he's not as defensively sound as he was in the early rounds. You better watch out for Diaz's looping shots.
Could it also be excitement?
No, I just think it's a chink in his armor. He's always getting caught late in fights.
Our main event is next. You can hear this crowd. They're ready to blow the roof off, and that woman promises to do it. And who doesn't want a clarinet/saxophone performance to get you hyped up? Sergio, did you used to jam out to some Kenny G back in the day?
No, but if you remember, Ryan Garcia in his last fight had a symphony in his dressing room. That was pretty cool. I got to give it to Detroit, man. We're having a good time here.
Yeah,
Great city.
I love this city.
Great city, and we had a great host, too, by the way. Shout out to Tariq Salmasi, old contender friend of mine that lives here in Detroit, Dearborn. Great area, great city, great vibe.
Great food.
Greek town.
Yes. By the way, confirmed, they're putting ice down Harrison's shorts, and that's why he's soaked, and that's causing you see the center decal, that gets wet, therefore it gets slippery.
Boy, ice down the shorts does not sound appealing to me. But apparently it's working for Tony Harrison, who's in round 9, but it's the dreaded 9th. The unlucky number 9 that Harrison has to worry about.
And we're here. Almost.
Yeah. We will be in 2.5 minutes. Well, credit to Edward Diaz, who's been very competitive in this fight and is not just trying to survive either.
No, you know, he's
impressed me more than I thought. I thought Diaz was going to be in trouble, even though Harrison has been off. I think stylistically, you know, Harrison is going to be just tailor-made for him. But no, he's in this fight. He's looping the shots. He's coming forward. He got the respect of Harrison, even though Harrison's in control.
Let's look at some CompuBox Power Punch numbers for you. Through 7 rounds, Harrison has landed 79, Diaz 31. Not for a lack of trying, as he's thrown 204. Harrison just much more accurate and sharper, as seen here.
There's that right hand. See that? Now Harrison has the right idea. He's throwing down the punch where Diaz's head's going to be. Not where it's at, where it's going to be. He keeps dipping to the same side, to the right side. And Harrison's catching on to that.
What's interesting is Diaz's corner called him on it. But he says, no.
It's a bad habit. See, those are bad habits that you do in the gym. You have to fix those in the gym. See, there it is again. Chopping right hand. That Harrison actually landed because Diaz is giving him that shot.
That uppercut, that left uppercut.
There it is. Boom, big shot.
The jab followed by the straight right for Harrison. It's his money maker.
Yeah, Diaz is rocked right now. He's a little shaky. He's buckled a little bit with that right hand.
I'm also going to give him a lot of credit for his stamina and the sheer ability to withstand the kind of punishment that Harrison is giving him.
Nice work stairs for Harrison as we enter the final 10 seconds here of the 8th round, scheduled for 10, Detroit City.
That's what I was about to say. Take that right hand downstairs.
Yes.
Harrison's looking good now. The rust has moved on now. This is the old former champ coming back now.
You got 2 more, my boy. 2 more, right? 2 more, then we go home. I love this round, dude. I love that round you just had. That was a great round. Take it, bro. Don't try to take it off. Don't take it off. We in complete control. Stop trying to end the fight. It's going to come to you. Keep the stick moving. Keep the face work. Keep the face work. You're doing good right now. You're good right now, my boy.
And there's that right hook going around the guard. Harrison found a home for that right hand. That's a big right hand right there that landed for Harrison. Glancing shot. But those punches keep getting closer and closer because Diaz is dipping to the same side, to his right.
Seconds out.
All right, round 9. This is the round he got stopped in against Tim Tszyu in his last outing.
He's been stopped 3 times in round 9. So, you know, once in the 11th, because these are the rounds where either fatigue sets in, he loses focus, or he gets figured out. Either way, he needs to be careful, even against Diaz, man, because, you know, your track record says that you lose focus, start getting hit with big shots in these rounds.
Did you have a least favorite round of the fight?
I always took the 6th round off. One of those rounds in the middle, I would usually take off in a 10 or 12 round fight.
Right hand from Harrison was blocked by Diaz, but still moved him.
Good shot. He's putting a lot of power in that right hand now, Harrison is.
I just got a chance to speak to Lloyd Harrison, who's actually in the corner of Tony Harrison. He's very, very happy with the type of performance that he's giving us. He says, listen, I don't want him to do anything crazy, look for a knockout. I just want him to get over the ring rust and just get rounds in. This is exactly what the kind of fight that I was looking for him to have as he comes back from such a long layover.
Well, Sergio, you've got to ask the question. Yeah, he looks good, but he's facing a guy who's lost 6 of his last 9 fights, including 5 by KO.
Yeah, no, it's if you look in the numbers, it's not a good look. But after a 2.5-year layoff, it's a decent performance right now. It's not a bad performance by Tony Harrison. There's flashes of really good stuff. After being that inactive against a guy that's been in there, you know, over 20 times in a fight, in a professional fight, I gotta give him credit. He looks pretty good.
Yes, and the other thing that they want to do is to see him put the combinations together, and like you mentioned, finish with nice uppercuts and hooks. He hasn't been able to do that, but he's slowly but surely getting that timing down.
Yeah, on the inside, he's landing some good uppercuts and body shots on the outside, controlling things with that jab.
Free guys, box out. Box out of it. Box out.
Getting a little bit, losing his balance, getting a little bit tired, looking out at the crowd right now. And this is like what I said earlier. It's usually this round 9 that gets him in trouble.
Is that a mental thing or a stamina?
Let it go.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Box.
Again, he's been out for a long time. So I give him credit. I think it's a good performance, not his best, but I think Diaz is also giving him a good challenge.
No, this is a solid comeback opponent. You know, Diaz came to win. He's coming forward. He's taking the best shots out of a guy that can punch, especially with that right hand. Big right hand right there.
Yeah, Diaz, you can see it in his face. He did not like that one bit as Harrison's letting his fist fly here. The knife, he got clipped clean. Down goes Harrison.
It's the 9th round that always comes back and bites Harrison in the butt. For some reason, he loses focus in this round 9.
Stay right here.
And he was just going with that long flurry, and I think he got distracted, like you said, Sergio, and that's when Diaz took advantage of it. I'm going to go check.
Boy, oh boy, what a shot from Edward Diaz. He almost made it to the end of the round, but he got clipped. And let's watch it again.
Keeping his chin up in the air, now punching and dipping, now making himself smaller. That's what he was doing earlier in the fight, but like we said, Tony Harrison lacks focus when it comes to these rounds, and that was a big shot by a big puncher in Edward Diaz. Yeah, Tony Harrison's going to be shook in this next round. He's not going to be able to shake off the cobwebs. That was a clean, beautiful shot. It wasn't just that right hand. It was that left hook that set up that big right hand right on the tip of the chin.
So what was a good performance for Tony Harrison could turn into a catastrophe here in the final 3 minutes as Edwards going to go right after him.
Edwards is going to go after that, he should, and Harrison's is shook. He wanted to hold down, touch hands. Diaz didn't want none of that. He's going for the knockout.
Caught him with a left hand there. Diaz acting like a cyclone left hook now. Harrison not firing back. Harrison being tested in every sense of the word. He doesn't have the kind of mentality that would let him just run away from trouble. He's right in the thick of it, lands a body shot.
Body shot there by Harrison, but Diaz came up with a nice right uppercut that actually rocked Harrison as well. There it is again, just missed with that big right uppercut.
Harrison.
I'm sorry, I just had a chance to speak to the corner, and they're very confident that Harrison is going to come back, that it was just a fluke, and that he's got what it takes to close out this fight.
I'm not sure fluke is the word I would use.
Oh, there's a right hand by Diaz.
That was a massive shot that put Harrison down. A lot of men would have stayed down after eating that punch.
I asked him about the ninth round curse. No answer. 0.
Minute and a half to go. If Harrison makes it to the end of the round, he wins the fight. He's picking his shots pretty well.
And the crowd loving it in here. Detroit's own Tony Harrison coming back after that knockdown.
But you know what? Diaz has also made a name for himself tonight. If he was in the back burner in anybody's list, well, guess what? He's not that far back now. Because he's definitely game, and he came to fight.
And he knows what's on the line. His life could change if he could somehow manage to get Harrison down again.
The body shot by Harrison. Man, Diaz can take a shot upstairs and downstairs.
Big right hand there from Harrison as the crowd roars its approval. They've been quiet for most of the night. They're making noise now. And Harrison can't help himself. He's going to go toe-to-toe.
This is a fight. We got ourselves a fight. That Gallo Dominicano is willing to go all the way and let everything right there on the line. He's not selling this loss for cheap, for sure.
And Harrison had to work for every single second of that fight to get his 30th professional win as he gets off the canvas in round 9.
Welcome back, Superbad, with a pretty good performance here, man. Got off the canvas after a 2.5-year layoff to come back and get 10 solid rounds against a veteran and a tough guy in Edward Diaz. What a bounce back. What a bounce back from Diaz in this fight. Crowd loved it.
And I saw the look you gave me when I said I'm expecting punching power. I'm expecting a lot of punching volume.
And Diaz is jawing at the camera. Hey, he's got plenty to bark about. He just dropped a former world champion.
Yeah, I mean, that's a feather in his cap. Uppercuts in the inside. There we go. Boom. Nice shot right there. If he would have got a pivot or an angle, Harrison could have continued, but he stayed right in front of Diaz for him to come back. Beautiful shot. Both of them exchanging uppercuts because they're right in front of each other, tired. No angle, no flanking from either fighter. It was just an all-out war. The crowd here loved it.
Well, a lot of people thought it would be easy, but it was not easy for Harrison. And despite that massive 76.5-inch wingspan and 8.5-inch reach advantage, he had to go into the trenches to win this one.
Yeah, he made this fight harder than it was, but by making it harder, he made it more exciting for the fans. I mean, win, lose, or draw, this is his hometown, and he put on a show, and he's back.
All right, the decision is in. Let's make it official. Has Tony Harrison indeed picked up win number 30.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put a big round of applause together for both of the boxers in the center of the ring. After 10 rounds of middleweight action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Gross scores the matchup 96-93. Judge Santino scores the matchup 98-91. And Judge White sees it 97-92. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Tony Superbad Harrison.
The crowd loving that decision as Tony Harrison, despite the knockdown in round 9, wins a unanimous decision.
Good comeback fight. Went 10 good solid rounds. He made it harder. Got himself off the canvas, but he's back, man. I mean, this is what you need to shake off Cowher. He didn't want to come back with a first-round knockout. If you really want to make a career in get a second chance at maybe winning a world title, you want to get these rounds in, and he just got them in.
Misfits Boxing presents Luke Rockhold versus Darren Till, two former UFC superstars stepping into the boxing ring to settle a rivalry. And the co-main event, UFC icon Tony Ferguson taking on Salt Poppy. That's live August 30th from Manchester's AO Arena. You think Salt Poppy beats Tony Ferguson?
Yes, I do. Out of all these fighters that are, YouTubers,
crossover fighters,
crossover fighters, Salt Poppy is the one that I actually enjoy watching.
And you had to enjoy watching Tony Harrison tonight, but maybe for the wrong reason, as it got real exciting late, more exciting than perhaps he wanted it to get. As Franchon Cruz deserves in the ring to give him her congratulations. As we jump back into the highlights here, Tony Harrison took a while to get started, but then was finding his flow in the middle round.
Now we got to give credit to Diaz here, because Diaz was leading up those right hands, coming back, little by little getting confidence, and it was this 9th round where Tony Harrison has been down 3 different times, and now make it 4 with Edward Diaz catching him over the top with that looping right hand. If he had more time, Tony Harrison would have been in trouble, but he shook off the cobweb, came right back, digging with those uppercuts, crowd on their feet, loving this action. Tougher fight than expected, but Tony Superbad Harrison came back and got the victory.
And he is absorbing all the love from his hometown crowd.